Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another show of Free to Speak. Got a lot of stuff to cover today. Lots of things going on in the news. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to it in this video. I might have to put out 2 videos today. If I do, that's fine. I'll go ahead. Let's see. Where do I start is the question. Let's see here. Well, okay, before I start in the news, all these topics that are going on right now, the movie 1984. I haven't watched that movie in probably 23 years. It's been a while. Well, last night or yesterday, I went back and watched it. And at the time when I originally watched it, I thought, okay, it's an interesting idea, but it'll never happen. But back in the 1990s, late 90s, when I watched that movie for the first time, we didn't have social media. We didn't have smartphones. We didn't have ways for the government to track you and other things like they do with smartphones and smart TVs and all that. So I didn't really give it much thought. But after watching it again, I'm like, wow, that really applies to today. Here's a couple quotes from the movie. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. The end of the movie is a little hard to watch. I'm sure everybody's seen it. I don't want to give too much away, but the end of the movie is rather, well, for me, I thought it was kind of intense. But here's a couple quotes from the movie. One is, thought crime is so insidious, it just creeps up on you. And then the other one that really struck home with me was, you have a defective memory. And I'm seeing that in politics and social media and fake stream media today, to where we can obviously remember something that happened a year ago that the Democrats did, but a year later, they act like it didn't happen. Well, that never happened. You have a defective memory. It applies to today. All right, getting into the actual news. Now, during, I'd say the last year or so, New York with Como, communist Como, excuse me, he's been preaching all summer about how to shut down New York, and we need to shut down New York, shut down, shut down, shut down, shut down. Well, now, he's coming out and saying, oh, well, we need to open up everything. Wait a minute. Just a week ago, you were saying close everything down. Now you're saying open everything up? And they're doing it all over the United States. I'm here in Virginia. Governor Northam has just said he's going to reopen schools now. What's with the flip-flop? Again, what has changed in the past week or two? Oh, that's right. We're getting a new president. So I feel that these shutdowns were designed to make the economy go in the tanks and to pretty much ruin Trump's image as far as having a great economy. Now that Trump is leaving office, now we need to open everything up so the economy can thrive, and then therefore they're going to give Joe Biden all the credit. Amazing. Okay. This is a news report that came out of InfoWars. Alex Jones. Rioters are being identified as left, with social media activists and children of Democrat senators and generals. So now it's all coming out that the rioters, the ones who really were the ones pushing everything and doing these horrible things, weren't in fact Trump supporters, but they were children and social media activists of Democratic senators and high-profile generals in the military. Wow. Let's see. Biden pushes for $15 an hour. This will destroy small business. Yeah, it will. But that was already that's already in place. It's already going up as of May 1st. I think the minimum wage is going up to $9 an hour, or $9.25 an hour, something like that. And then by, I think, the same time next year, it's going to go up to $15 an hour. Well, what's going to happen? Now, this is great for employees. It's not good for employers. It's a double-edged sword, because if you're going to raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour, which is basically doubling it here in Virginia, the minimum wage here in Virginia is $7.25. So he's more than doubling it, or they are more than doubling it. So what's going to happen? So all of a sudden, as an employer, each one of your employees are now being paid double what they were. So now you're basically paying one employee the price that you would pay for two. Well, what's going to happen? Either A, these small businesses are going to have to shut down because they can't afford it. B, they're going to stay open but run a skeleton crew because they can't afford all the people. Or C, they're just going to have to raise prices on everything. So a cheesesteak sub right now average between $7 and $10 a sub or a sandwich. I wouldn't be surprised if that raises up to $15 a sandwich or $20 a sandwich. They have to do something. I mean, they're going to have to pass on this extra price to the customers. I mean, that's just simple economics. That's economics 101. Now, Biden's stimulus plan, which has already been passed before he even takes office, he had absolutely nothing to do with it. This stimulus plan of $1,400 checks, it'd be really interesting to see, since we're excluding Trump supporters from everything, it'd be really interesting to see if he doesn't pass something to where Trump supporters don't get a stimulus check. We'll see. There's no evidence of that so far, but we'll see. All right, what else? Charles Barkley. He's in the news again. He says that these athletes who pay really high taxes every year should be moved to the front of the list for the vaccines. Huh? Okay, let's break that down. So Charles Barkley is basically saying, if you make more money, then you should be put at the front of the list. What does your income have anything to do with where you are as far as getting a vaccination? That doesn't make any sense. Whatever. Charles Barkley is... I'm not a big fan of him. I think he's an idiot. But that's just my personal opinion. Also, here's something very important for the Minds app, which a lot of people are migrating to. I migrated to it. Minds got a 24 notice from Google. So basically they're going to shut them down just like they did Parler. So now Minds has gone in and they've changed some things. Here's some things that you can't do on the Minds app anymore that you got from the Google Play Store. You can't use a search engine anymore. That's gone. And you can no longer post comments on other people's posts or even on your own post. Not allowed to do it. Not on the app from Google Storage. You can do it online. You can go to minds.com and you can search and you can comment and do everything you want. But on the App Store, if you have it on your phone, no commenting, no searching. Wow. Okay. Wow. It's getting bad. It's getting really bad. And well, I just covered all the top stories very quickly. I just kind of ran through them, but now that I've put it all out there, let's go back and review, and I'll put in some commentaries and see what we're really dealing with. So we're reopening everything. All right. Como wants to reopen New York. All right. It should have never been shut down in the first place. Nothing should have been shut down to the degree that it was. Now China is doing another lockdown, and they're locking down twice the amount of people they did before. What do we expect from communists? Now, what's going to happen there? Well, suicide rates are going to go up. Disease and infections are going to go up, just like it did before. It's not going to help anyone. It's only going to hurt. And it's going to also destroy their economy yet again. None of this makes any sense. Well, actually it does. This is clearly just another attack on what they deem inappropriate. I don't get it. The only thing that has changed is who's going to be president. All of a sudden, we need to open things back up. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Now, with this whole Minds app thing, we're seeing a big migration from Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all that crap. You see, no matter what, the left wants to silence us. They do not want us stating our opinions. They do not want free thought. They are, as 1984 says it, it's all thought crime. And the thought police, thought terrorists, have lost their minds. If your ideas or opinions differ from ours, you are bad. Just like Mr. Mackey from South Park. I don't watch the show anymore. I used to watch in the late 90s when it first came out. But Mr. Mackey, the counselor, if you do drugs, you are bad. Okay? So, you can put it in this scenario. Republicans are bad, okay? And if you are a Republican, then you're bad. Okay. It's complete stupidity. Complete stupidity. We are living in bizarro world where everything is upside down and backwards. They're pushing this stuff so heavily, and they think that we're just going to follow suit and shut up. Well, we're not. We're just not. I mean, flying the American flag in some states can get you arrested. Think about that for a minute. Putting up the American flag on your own property is a criminal offense in some areas of the country. In some of the more liberal communist states. It's just the way that our society is now. We've become a society of babies, really. Just babies. They don't want you thinking for yourself. They don't want you doing things for yourself. They don't want you relying on yourself. They want you to rely on them. They want so much government control that you can't take a crap without first asking permission. You won't be allowed to brush your teeth without asking permission. When is this going to end? I don't see it ending. Well, this is me just thinking out loud. You know what? No. Because you know what? I'm not even going to do that because, you know, when you're presented with a fight that you can't win, or a fight that is so heavily against you already in the beginning, you kind of lose your morale. You lose your sense of self, and you don't want to fight it because you think it's a losing battle and they're going to win anyway, so what's the point? Well, if we have that mentality, then we've already lost. And we're going to lose. If we think that way. The Democrats, the liberals, the communists in this country are really trying to exert their power over us. And they're really trying to push that they are in control. They are our God, and we need to bow down and do whatever they say. I'm the type, I'm a very strong-willed person. If somebody, when I was younger, it's not so much anymore. In my late teens, early 20s, even throughout all of my 20s, if somebody told me to do something, I wouldn't do it just because you told me to do it. That's how strong-willed I've been. But as I've gotten older, I've realized, that's not really the way things work. Do things that you're told to do within reason, but don't allow someone to completely control every aspect of you. And I've always had the mindset that I don't like being controlled. I don't like being told what to do. I should not have to be, I shouldn't have to go to the government and say, hey, boss, is it okay if I take a pee? I've been to jail a couple times when I was younger. Nothing serious. I had some possession of marijuana here in Virginia. Now it's been decriminalized in our state, so it's not something you can go to jail for. But, in the late 90s, you could, and I did. And in jail, you do what you're told. Okay? You do what you're told when you're told to do it, or they make your life a living hell. And I'm starting to get that feeling now. That the government say, you're going to do what you're told, when you're told, how you're told to do it. And if you have any thought of going against what we're telling you, we're going to make your life a living hell. I hate to say it, but you remember way back in history, of our history, a couple people. You may not heard of them. George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson. These people, they had some ideas about how to start a government, how to run a government. I think they might have been on to something. Don't be surprised if 1776 happens all over again. We're starting to get into an area of a dictatorship government, an oppressive government, and a tyrannical government. We would not be silenced in 1776, and we're not going to be silenced now. I saw a meme on Minds, I think it was yesterday. I don't remember exactly how it was phrased, but it's something to the point that, they're complaining about we cause an insurrection at the Capitol. Well, the way things are going now, keep it up. Because if you really want to see what a real insurrection is, keep it up. I thought that meme was just brilliant. Yeah, keep it up, Democrats. Keep it up, liberals. That was not an insurrection. You want to see what an insurrection really looks like? Keep it up. I'm not advocating violence of any kind. What I'm saying is, if this keeps up, it's going to get to the point to where we're not going to allow these fascist idiots to control us. So we're going to do what we need to do and take our government back. Peacefully is the best way to do it. But in 1776, peace was just not an option. A peaceful diplomatic way of separating from England just wasn't in the cards. We had to fight for our liberties. We had to fight for our country. We might be facing that again. How long are we going to put up with this? Because they're trying to silence us. What do? We migrated over to other apps, other social media. Now they're trying to shut that down. Twitter said, well, if you don't like it, go get your own platform. Well, that's what Parler did. They created their own platform. That's what Minds did. They created their own platform. Gab.com, they did the same thing. Now that we've created our own platform, oh, no, we just got to shut you down. You're not allowed to have your own platform. Wait a minute, you just told us if we don't like it, create your own platform. Yeah, we did say that. But I really didn't mean it. Because if you go get your other platform, we're just going to shut you down there too. Free speech suppression. Well, that's all I have for today. If you like this content in this video, please share it. And definitely comment down below. I want to know what all of you think. I want to know your opinions. Of course, you can't comment on the app. You're going to have to comment on your computer, online. Minds.com. Wow. I've also got a YouTube channel. I started one up. I don't know how long it's going to be up. They're going to shut me down eventually soon, as soon as I start getting some actual views and some actual traffic coming to my channel. But it's just look up Free to Speak on YouTube. Come follow me or subscribe to me on there. Share my videos. Hit the like. And yeah, we'll see you next time. And the way things are going, I don't know if there's going to be a next time, but we'll see you next time. And thanks for joining. Bye-bye now.